Shalom. First, I'll start off by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. The belongings of teachers, elders, and apostles of great milestone, likewise, brothers put on this truth. Faithfully, fearlessly feeding the sheep, and to brothers and sisters that are tuning in. Shalom. Today's lesson is titled, No Peace for the Wicked, a Despised King. Now, I'm going to show you a couple video clips today, and the first clip is going to be concerning the meeting between Trump and Putin. But what you're going to see is the aftermath of this meeting, how the media really attacked Trump. And we're talking the media, because as you brothers and sisters out there well know, that you have MSN, they tend to be more for the Democrats, and Fox tend to be more for the Republican. But interesting enough, when you have both network attacking their king, we know that prophecy is at hand. Before I play the first clip here, let's go into the book of Jeremiah 49 and starting with verse 13, and it reads, For I have sworn by myself, said the Lord, Yahweh Shai, that Bozrah shall become a desolation and a reproach, a waste and a curse, and all the cities thereof shall be perpetual wastes. I've heard a rumor from the Lord, Yahweh Shai, and an ambassador is sent unto the heathen, saying, Gather ye together and come against her, and rise up to the battle. For lo, I will make thee small among the nation, and despised amongst men. Let's take a look at the word despised in the online etymology dictionary, and it means look down upon, scorn, disdain, treat with contempt. Now, when you take a look at this clip and hear the what the commentators think about the meeting, and you can see how the foreign king that came to see the Babylonian king, okay, meaning Putin coming to see Trump, you can see the interaction between them. You can see that this despise has already taken place, okay? So take a look at this clip.
Wow, this press conference between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin in Alaska could not have gone worse. Whatever went down in that meeting was a total disaster. Even Fox is saying that whatever the heck just took place was a utter failure, because Fox says they've never seen Donald Trump like that. And it seemed like Vladimir Putin just wanted to show up, take a photo with Donald Trump, and then leave and mock and humiliate the United States, while the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, shows up in a CCCP or USSR shirt, mocking the United States and Ukraine. So this press conference just took place between Donald Trump and Vladimir Putin. Donald Trump, I mean, he looked defeated. He looked disheveled. He looked sickly. And he says, there's no deal. There's no deal. But just even listen to his voice. It was like he was just crying or something. Here, play this clip.
Mr. President, that was very profound. And I will say that I believe we had a very productive meeting. There were many, many points that we agreed on. Most of them, I would say, a couple of big ones that we haven't quite gotten there, but we've made some headway. So there's no deal until there's a deal.
And then Donald Trump just ends the press conference abruptly. No one is able to ask any questions. It wasn't a news conference at all, which is what they said it was going to be. The lunch gets canceled, and then Donald Trump and Putin quickly leave. Putin goes back to Russia, and then Donald Trump gets in his plane. This was an utter, unmitigated disaster. Here, play this clip.
Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
And as you saw in that, okay, you're hearing from these commentators in regards to how weak and pathetic that their Lord looks. You know, he's overweight, probably has like a 70-inch waistline. Okay, he looks unhealthy. He just looks very disheveled, like very out of it. Okay, that he doesn't look like the man that is leading the most powerful nation on this earth. Okay, and that's because what? The Lord has made it very clear that he's going to bring, okay, the glory of this man down. He's going to bring this man down to a level in which these other nations that have been typically afraid of the power of the almighty, okay, Babylonian Empire, okay, Great Babylon America, they feel that this nation is no longer, okay, the nation that the world has come to trust to lead them. This is the book of Matthew 10 and Psalms 34. Think not that I have come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. This is the Mashiach speaking. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and a daughter against her mother, and a daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And a man's foe should be they of his own household. And so when you think about it as household, or you think about, you know, the interaction of people, okay, because the Lord is not bringing peace, okay, to the earth, he's bringing a sword. You can see here locally, here in Great Babylon, America, okay, that disagreement, that unraveling of working together cohesively is going to be taking place. Okay, in fact, when we go into 2nd Ezra 15 and start verse 13, we can see how this unraveling is already taking place right now. Okay, now while this man is talking about, you know, peace in Ukraine, and, you know, and Russia should get out of Ukraine and all those and all of this other things, and trying to be the world peacemaker, in the meantime, you have war brewing here in Great Babylon, America. And that war is against the children of Israel, or so-called Black Americans and Latinos. Says, they that till the ground shall mourn, for their seed shall fail through the blasting and hail, and with a fearful constellation. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein. You see in the videos, and in fact, you know, I want to show you a clip with these Edomites. You know, they feel that they've been neglected, which they have.
I give up. I have worked so hard, literally. I went to school for 10 years for a higher education that doesn't do me any good. I've been working 2 jobs in restaurants for 2 years, 50 hours a week for nothing. It doesn't mean anything. In fact, I'm getting evicted next week after my son almost died in the end of March with diabetes, and now he has type 1 diabetes. I'm dealing with that, and then my grandma had a stroke 10 days after that. And now I'm behind on my $2,500 a month rent that I can't work enough to catch up.
Hey TikTok, I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries.
Tomorrow is my husband's birthday, so I just ran to the grocery store with my 3 kids and picked up a bakery cake, 3 birthday cards, some chocolate chip cookies that I can binge eat my feelings away, lemonade, granola, Greek yogurt, and a tiny, like, 1/4 pint of ice cream. $89. That's not even a meal for my 3 children. $89. And then I see this report, coincidentally, shortly after I get home, probably because, you know, Apple is reading my mind, about how grocery prices in the year 2025 are at a record high, higher than 2024. What happened to the president that was going to save us from these high grocery prices? It's August now. What has happened? Nothing. How are we supposed to survive this? Now a birthday card and lemonade are a luxury for a middle-class American family? I hate it here. These cookies are delicious.
A pound of ground beef, the cheapest beef available is now more than the federal minimum wage. A pound of ground beef at my local King Soopers is $7.49 because it's not on sale.
Even down here for $85.15, it's more, it's $11.50. You know, that's organic or whatever. It's still, you have 96.4 for $8 a fucking pound. What the fuck's going on?
Hey TikTok, I'm just on here wondering if anybody's feeling the same way I'm feeling. I'm from Illinois, and I feel like the gas prices and the electric bills and the prices of food is just so overwhelming anymore. Like, I'm wondering if anybody else is feeling like they're drowning and they can't get out. I work overtime, and I cannot get above water. I mean, I literally have no gas for next week. It was either that or get a few groceries to get by. I hit my local food pantries. I'm just wondering if anybody else feels like they're drowning. But anyway, I hope everybody has a great day.
If you think beef prices are high right now, just wait until the fruits and vegetables aren't making it to the grocery store, because farmers in the West Coast, California, Oregon, Washington, are reporting that 60% of their crop is remaining in the field or on the trees or on the vine. Blueberry farmers letting 60% of their crop rot, saying, hey, the raccoons and squirrels are going to have a great year, but I'm not. Cherry farmers, same thing. 60 to 70% of their crop is rotting on the trees because migrant workers who typically follow the harvest up the coast of California aren't making that trek this year, all due to immigration and immigration policies set forth by Republicans in the Trump administration. They're unwilling to take the risk of being detained by ICE, even those that are here legally, because they don't want to just disappear, and their family members that rely on them have no support. So they're staying close to home. And for Donald Trump, he says, oh, we need to fix what we're doing with immigration, and we need to support our farmers. But he really has no answer. In an interview with CNBC yesterday, he essentially said, oh, we'll fix it in the next couple weeks. But we know the next couple weeks never happens with Trump.
Every time this comes up, I want to talk about it because I find this so interesting how so many people don't understand that you can't budget yourself out of poverty.
Because in the blind rage of Esau, he has forgotten to take care of his own, okay? Because his eyes is now privy set against the poor, which is the so-called blacks and Americans and Latinos who are living here in Great Babylon, America, the true biblical Hebrew Israelites. It says, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. So there's never going to be peace on this earth until a Mashiach return and subdue these nations, okay, and set up a righteous kingdom. It says, for there should be seditions amongst men invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and cause of their actions shall stand their power. That is another way they're despising their kings. You have the Fox, the MSN, okay, and all these other news media and these other private news reporters speaking negative terms against their king, like how weak and pathetic he looked. They're disappointed. The Lord has put the spirit in them to despise him now, because he's not making America great again. He's making America worse than it ever was. Okay? There's a division. There's a division of common sense and stupidity. The way this man has made decisions with his arrogancy and his hatred for the children of Israel, okay, is causing the comfort living of these Edomites. And they're going to look and they're going to see that their king is not really a king at all. Okay, that he's that cruel Lord that the Bible speaks of, which we go on the highway and the byway and on this unicorn and prophesy about. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able, for because of their pride the city should be troubled, the houses should be destroyed, and man shall be afraid. You see him going on right now. What did he do? He bought the National Guard, and he said he's looking to do this across America. So how are you going to be trying to negotiate peace between Russia and Ukraine when you're creating war domestically here in Great Babylon, America? That's that blind rage, that hatred. Okay? That hatred, it's here. And do you know why he cannot help doing what he's doing? Of course, he's being controlled by the elites who are being controlled by Yahweh Shemel Shai. This tells it. This is Daniel 4:17. It reads, "This matter is by the decree of the watchers and the demand by the word of the holy ones, to the intent that the living may know that the Most High ruleth in the kingdom of men, and give it to whomever he will, and set up over it the basis of man." Who is ruling the earth right now? The so-called white man. He's really red. His face is on everything. The images of the Most High, the Son, the prophets, the saints, the currency of the world, every invention, everything. So guess what? If he's the one who is the popular guy and the one that's so all-knowing, he must be these people that the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai had put to rule the earth. The basis of man, which we know the basis of man means that he is the abominable creation. Okay? The abominable creation. The lowest of all men created. Take a look at this clip.
All right, we see there President Trump and Russian leader Vladimir Putin shaking hands at the end.
Now, before Donald Trump rushed off from that press conference, Vladimir Putin mocked him again on stage. And Putin said, "How about next time you come to Moscow?" And Donald Trump was like flustered. Again, it looked like he was going to cry on stage. He's looked so utterly defeated here. Here, watch for yourself as Putin says, "Maybe you want to come to Moscow." Here, watch this.
Again, Mr. President, I'd like to thank you very much, and we'll speak to you very soon and probably see you again very soon. Thank you very much, Vladimir.
Next time in Moscow.
Oh, that's an interesting one. I don't know. I'll get a little heat on that one, but I could see it possibly happening. Thank you very much, Vladimir. And thank you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Just so you see, here's how they're reporting it on Fox right now, where they said whatever went down in that room was not good at all. It went very bad. Putin came in and steamrolled Donald Trump, said what he wanted, and then Donald Trump just looked utterly weak and pathetic. This is what Fox is saying. Here, play this clip.
Happened back there. It was just very unusual, atypical, and I think we're all awaiting, the readout, because the way that it felt in the room was not good. It did not seem like things went well, and it seemed like Putin came in and steamrolled, got right into what he wanted to say, and got his photo next to the president and then left. Of course, that is only the piece of the picture that we have right now, and certainly President Trump, who is the host and who is the president, would not want to, I think, enable something that would make him look weak.
And you saw more of it. Okay? More of it. Both sides. Imagine that. So this, some of you hear us talk about second address constantly and talking about the fact that they're not going to regard the kings and, Egyptians against Egyptians. And you go, how is that possible? But you can see it right now. The news media that are set up to back up, depends on who's in power, Republican or Democrat, are now saying the exact same thing. What a pathetic loser. What a pathetic king this is. Okay? Because he's that cruel Lord. You put an actor. He's an actor. He's an actor. You put a game show host as your king. Of course, you didn't. I mean, the Lord Yahweh Shemel Shai sets up all of this. Okay? Let's go to Joel 3. And verse 9 says, "Proclaim ye this among the Gentiles. Prepare war. Wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near. Let them come up. Beat your plowshares into sword and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong." Putin is strong. Okay? That's why he was making fun of him. Like, hey, why don't you come to Russia next time, man? Like, look here. I just want a free trip in a red carpet and just take a picture with you. I don't give a crap. We're gonna bomb the shit out of Ukraine. We know a lot of kikes over there. And it's already written, we're gonna bomb you out of existence. You don't think the Russians know? The scriptures too? Okay? It says, "Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. To the cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Lord, Yahweh Shemel Shai. Let the heathen be awakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. Put ye in the sickle, for the harvest is ripe. Come, get you down, for the press is full, and fats overflow, for their wickedness is great. Okay, so there's going to come a time of great death. Okay, not only for the 2/3 of our people that continue to follow the ways of Great Babylon America, okay, but also the sons of men. Okay, the Lord is going to judge these nations. Okay, so there's never going to be peace. Let's go to the book of Isaiah 13, verse 15. It reads, everyone that is found shall be thrust through, and everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. Okay, so the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai, when he sent his son, the Mashiach, to do his bidding, okay, if you're joined to Esau, you're going to get put to death. So you look at this, it's critical when you take a look at Jake's them in these monkey suits, as I like to call them, these military uniforms and ICE agents uniforms and all these other, 3-letter agency uniforms, and to them they go, well, I'm just making a living, I'm just doing my job. No, you are laying your hands on your people. You're laying your hands on the poor. 2/3 are still the people of the Lord Yahweh Shem Yahushai. They're going to be in the kingdom. Okay, they're going to be in the kingdom. Definitely don't lay your hands on the elect or the hopefully elect or the 1/3. Okay, but you're joined on to Esau wearing that uniform. You're going to get thrust through. Okay, you're going to get thrust through. It said their children also should be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses should be spoiled and their wives ravished. Behold, I will stir up the Medes against them, which is more than their Russia and their other cohorts or their other allies, which shall not regard silverness for gold. They should not delight in it. Why? Because the Lord has already put the spirit in them. They're beating their plowshares and prunicks into swords. Okay, they're not farming countries anymore. They're like, look, man, you're weak. We want to take over next. That's why it said earlier. It said the guy he walked in there with a CCP or the USSR basically shirt on, showing like, look, we're back, man. We just coming to just go through this because y'all called for this crap. All right, but we ain't into you. It says their bows or their bows also shall dash a young man to pieces, and they shall have no pity in the fruits of the womb. Their eyes shall not spare children. We keep telling you, but these rotten last children in America, they're gonna die. We're gonna see a lot of them die getting horrible things done to them. Women getting raped, kids getting raped. Okay. And this is gonna happen to you, Jakes, that are attached to them too. You're out there in the monkey suit there, doing, talking about resting and putting your hands on the children of the Lord, and you think that these judgments are not gonna come on you. They're gonna come on you. Okay, they're gonna come on you. Somebody's gonna go and rape your kids and rape your wives and do horrible things to them. Plus, you're gonna get thrust through by the sword. It says, and Babylon, the glory of kingdoms, the beauty of the Chaldees, excellency, should be as when power overthrew Sodom and Gomorrah, because we know this place is a pure faggot homosexual society. Okay, and it's wicked. All right, so again, no peace for the wicked, and what you have is a despised king. Lord willing, the elect for Father close by giving all glory and honor to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakadash Shalom.